Psalm chapter 58, verse 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Their poison is as the poison of a serpent. They are like the death adder that stoppeth her ear. All praise and glory to Yahweh, Bashim Yahweh Shai, Bashim Kakadash. Double honors to the Apostle of the Great Millstone. Salutation to you, I'm doing the work of truth and sincerity. And this is going to be a series that I'll do highlighting the Edomites that turned this wicked place into the wicked place that it is to this day. And on this video, I'm highlighting the Edomite known as Alfred Kinsey. One of the biggest reasons or supporters of the alphabet people today. I'm going to read a few paragraphs of this devil, this Edomite, and so you can get kind of a small grasp on who this Edomite is. You can always go to Wikipedia. His name is right here, Alfred Kinsey, and read the whole thing, all you want, you know. But I'm going to give a quick overview of this devil. Alfred Charles Kinsey, American biologist, professor in entomology, which you can read that, zoology, and sexology in 47, who founded the Institute for Sex Research at the Indiana University, now known as Kinsey Institute for Research in Sex, Gender, and Reproduction. That's who this Edomite is. I mean, like I say, you can read the whole thing if you want to. I'm going to read just bits and pieces of this Edomite's life. Now, okay. Kinsey is widely regarded as the first major figure in American sexology. That's why you got so many weirdo alphabet people in this country right now. His research helped pave the way for deeper exploration into sexuality among sexologists and the general public, as well as liberating female sexuality. And of course, his research was funded by the Rockefeller Foundation, and he published a book called Sexual Behavior in the Human Male in 48, and in 53, Sexual Behavior in the Human Female. Now, one of his bigger traits, well, one of his bigger speeches or sayings is, children are sexual from birth. And when you look at his book, when you read his book, it basically has sexual orgasms in children from 0 to 6 months, and so on and so forth. And then, of course, the thing that he got called the Kinsey scale, where he basically supposedly measures the hetero or homosexuality in males from a scale from 0 to 6. And I'm going to read part of the controversial aspects. Now, I'm going to start up here. Kinsey's research went beyond theory and interview to include observation of and participation in sexual activity, sometimes involving co-workers. All these people on the picture with him was all involved in his lewd activities. Let's put it that way. Kinsey justified his sexual experimentation as being necessary to gain the confidence of his research subjects. Hey, that's what these devils do. Jumping down. Kinsey collected sexual material from around the world, which brought him to the attention of the U.S. Customs Service when they seized some pornographic films in 56. He died before this matter was resolved legally. Kinsey wrote about pre-adolescent orgasms using data in tables 30 to 34 of the male volume, which reported observations of orgasms in over 300 children aged from 2 months up to 15 years. This man said that children are sexual from birth, 2 months up to 15 years. This is illegal in any society. Don't get me wrong. 2 months, 15 years old, in medieval times, quote unquote. Hey, when a girl reached the age of her period, she was considered a woman and she could be married off. 2 months old. This Edomite was experimenting with 2-month olds. Now, in here it says that he interviewed pedophiles, which is BS. I mean, if this devil was having sex with all his co-workers and going across seas doing who knows what, and died before it came to light, died before the court case, come on, man. 2 months to 15 years. The information was said to have come from adults' childhood memories or from parent or teacher observations. Yeah, right. Kinsey said he also interviewed 9 men who had sexual experiences with children who told him about the children's responses and reactions. Little attention was paid to this part of Kinsey's research at the time, but Kinsey had gained this information. But where Kinsey had gained this information began to be questioned nearly 40 years later, basically after his death. It was later revealed that Kinsey used data from a single pedophile and presented it as being from various sources. Kinsey had seen the need for the participants' confidentiality and anonymity as necessary to gain honest answers on a taboo subject. Years later, the Kinsey Institute said that the data on the children in tables 31 to 34 came from one man's journal started in 1917, and that the events concerned predated the Kinsey reports. Yeah, right. Jones wrote that Kinsey's sexual activity influenced his work, and he overrepresented prisoners and prostitutes, because this is where he supposedly got most of his information, from prisoners and prostitutes, not from everyday people. Classified some single people as married, and that he included a disproportionate number of homosexual men. Hey, that's what you Edomites just are, man. Which may have distorted his studies. While he has been criticized for omitting African Americans from his research. In other words, his scale for hetero or homosexual men were all done by Edomite men. Were all done in the research of Edomite men. Not Jake's. That's all that means. Jake didn't have nothing to do with his research. Again, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go straight soon as they be born, speaking lies. So he lied about basically everything in his report. Yet to this day, let me see where it's at. They basically, here it is right here. The SNM is the first U.S. national monument dedicated to the alphabet, rights, and history. As a matter of fact, up here. In June 2019, Kinsey was one of the inaugural 50 American pioneer trailblazers and heroes inducted into the National Alphabet People's Wall of Honor. Yes, they hold his studies to this day. And basically, in his history, he is known to be an alphabet person himself, a liar, uh, pedophile, molester, all of basically a sodomite in general. Yet these are the people that Esau holds and reveres to this day. And that'll be it for this episode of The Wicked Are Estranged from the Womb. Great Edomites in Babylonian American history. With that, I say Shalom.